Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about the Elder Scrolls Online combat system. Essentially it's quite similar to the Elder Scrolls games, so you're going to be quite familiar with it. You basically left click to do your basic attack, and you right click to block. You will be in third person though. You can go into first person, they mentioned, but you're going to be you won't see people and attacking from behind and things like that. And in PvP, that's going to be quite important. So you'll be playing largely in third person. Left click to basic attack, right click to block. Blocking drains stamina. So every time you hold down block, it will drain your stamina. And you can interrupt people's attacks or casting and stuff like that with a shield bash. So with your basic attack, you can also do a charge attack, which is where you hold the left click, as in Skyrim and all the other games, and that doesn't require stamina. So what spells do you have access to? Basically, you have a hotbar at the bottom of your screen. And this is a bit like Guild Wars, if you've played that. So you have 6 active spells, and you'll choose those from a range or a number of spells that you have access to as your class, but you can only put 6 in your hotbar. One of those is a thing called an ultimate ability, and the rest are just normal spells. So you can use any of them, but you can't swap them for any of your other abilities if you're already in a fight. So you can't swap them out, and that's pretty similar to Guild Wars. The ultimate ability you can't just use straight away because it requires charging from something called finesse, which I'll talk about in a sec. The other important thing is that there is no cooldown for the other 5 abilities, so that kind of takes away from the rotation system. I know in WoW and other MMOs you always have a kind of rotation for DPS and things like that, but there's no cooldown for any of these. I think they want to focus on using the abilities at exactly the right time, which is something I'm going to talk about later, something called synergy, which is going to play a big part in the game. So also your 5 abilities will require stamina. So yeah, that's your hotbar. You have 6 spells that are active. 5 of them are your normal kind of spells, and 1 is the ultimate ability. So the thing I mentioned called finesse is, again, it's quite similar to a system on Guild Wars too. It rewards players according to the impact that they have made in an encounter, and the mastery of their skills. So you just get rewards like more XP, more gold, and they said other beneficial stuff. So they haven't released, they haven't said anything else other than other beneficial stuff. So I don't know whether that means you'll get items. Maybe it means you'll get like a buff for an hour or something. Maybe you'll get increased XP for, I don't know, 2 hours or something. But that'll be pretty interesting to see what that is. And finesse you get up by basically being a skilled player. They want to reward you for being good at playing your character. So things that they mentioned like timing of blocking will increase your finesse. Also, when you interrupt people, if you interrupt them at the right time, that will increase your finesse. And also there's something called synergy, using synergy, which I will talk about next. Also, your finesse will charge your ultimate ability. So that's the ability I mentioned. 1 of your 6 spells in your hotbar is your ultimate ability, and increasing your finesse, so being more skilled, blocking, interrupting, will increase, will charge that. So then you can use that, and that will allow you to get through bosses quicker. So yeah, I'll talk about synergy now. So synergy is basically the combination of players' abilities. So you'll get 2 or more actually players that will combine their special abilities in a specific way so as to be basically more effective, do more damage, do more healing, and the game registers that, so that leads to increased finesse basically. and more DPS, more healing, as I said, which means you can complete instances quicker and get more experience. So synergy is going to be a big part of this game. So basically understanding other people's classes or types, and using your abilities to complement them as well. And so the game recognizes this, gives you more finesse. It also gives you special rewards, which they haven't mentioned, so that could be like buffs or it could be items. That'd be quite cool. So as an example, they mentioned that a rogue could place a trap on the ground, which would immobilize a target normally, but not do much else. So the mage could come along and put like a fire burning, I don't know, kind of fire burning thing on the trap, which on its own would just sort of burn the targets, but the targets could just run off the fire area. So alone or individually, the effects don't do much, but together the rogue could place the trap, the mage could set the fire area, and you get an enemy that gets trapped and takes a bunch of fire damage. So yeah, they're really going to reward things like that, working together to overcome your enemies. And I guess that'll be in PvP or PvE. Actually, that's another thing I was going to mention. Normally in games, well, I'm kind of referring to WoW because I haven't played many other MMOs. You get a build for a PvP setting and a build for PvE, because different abilities do different things, like interrupting or something you might really want for PvP, or PvE you might want lots of area of effect damage. But it's interesting, there won't be any specific skills for PvP or PvE, so you will have the same builds throughout your play of the game, regardless of what you're doing. So you're going to utilize the same skills for PvP as you will PvE. So that's kind of interesting. So that was a short overview of the combat system in Elder Scrolls Online. I hope you enjoyed the info, and if you did, please like or comment, or subscribe even. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time.